We had the PlayStation State of Play.
Yes, the June 2025 version, the installation of the announcements. For those of you who are listening long in the future, obviously if you're listening as this episode comes out, this happened like 2 days ago.
Yep. So we're just going to cherry pick the ones that we actually care about. Bloodstained. I've liked these games for quite some time. They're basically a continuation of what Castlevania would be if they kept making side-scrolling Castlevanias.
Sure.
So yeah, looking forward to that. Digimon Time Stranger.
Yes, so this is specifically Digimon. You need to put the story in there because a story is its own contained version of the games, and it's a very specific form of the games. It's the RPG team-based, almost Pokemon-esque system.
Yes, this might be the thing that I'm looking forward to the most out of this. This seems to be like kind of a little bit detached from the other Digimon stories, which the Cyber Sleuth and Thingy Memory that were like very definitely attached to each other.
Yeah, except it's not.
Okay. So is it more nods rather than a straight-on continuation, right?
It's in the same world.
Yeah, okay, same world. So you might get characters popping up, but it's not just a straight-up sequel, right?
It's very unclear. We've been given very little information. All the information we've been given is this 2-minute-long trailer and the initial tease, which is about 30 seconds. So, yeah, I've been waiting for this game for a while because, obviously, it got teased ages ago. I like all Digimon games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this looked fantastic from the previous trailer. Even before I recognized, oh shit, that's actually a Digimon. Oh, okay, shit, cool. They've actually put some effort into this. I like this already. BL Starmon is showing up, and she's had a reduction. But oh well, she's still fantastic.
If you say so. The reason why I think this might be a more direct continuation than they're letting on is because it's been about 8 years since the last story game, because the original Hacker's Memory came out on the PS3. That's how long ago it was. So it's been a bit of a gap. They re-released it on Steam between then, and I've been obviously replayed that version. But the point being that they mention in this trailer that we're sending you back in time by 8 years.
Okay, fair enough. Exactly 8 years to exactly when the last game was. Okay.
Yeah. And you've also got to remember that Hacker's Memory wasn't a sequel. It was like a parallel. Hacker's Memory happened at the same time as Cyber Sleuth.
Yeah, it was like the tails of the coin, that it happens at the same time. Things intertwine rather than, following on.
Like, you're doing a bunch of stuff off screen that the protagonist in the first game could not have possibly done. So much so that, more so in the early game, you'd have encounters where you don't have to do a boss fight because this boss fight already got done.
Yeah.
Which is always fun. The battle system looks great. They appear to be adding trading cards in the game. Me and a mutual friend of ours, Rick, were like, wow, we hope there's a mini game involved here, but it might just be replacing the medals from the previous game. We're not sure.
Cool beans. But yeah, this is one that I'm probably going to jump on without having played the previous ones.
Here's the thing, is these games are usually pretty good at filling in the blanks, as it were. Like, I don't think... You just need to know Digimon exist, and even then, you don't really need to know that. Because in the first game, they established that Digimon are seen as tools rather than creatures. It's literally just apps. They think... At least that's what the humans think they are until you get deeper into the game. So, you really don't need much previous Digimon knowledge for these.
Yeah, sure. Next one.
Before that, the most important thing we got from this trailer is the release date. They've slated it for 3rd of October, so yay.
It says to me 3rd of November.
Yes, because the article got it wrong. I know
fantastic.
which... Are you using Eurogamer?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, cool, because I looked it up on Eurogamer as well. They put November, don't know why. In the video it says 10.3, so yeah.
Sure, cool, even better. Final Fantasy Tactics. We're getting 2 copies of this game in one.
Yeah, this is weird, isn't it? Because they're telling you one version of the game is just straight up a improved looking original Final Fantasy Tactics, and the other one is them actually changing shit. I don't know what that means.
So the part of it is the faithful recreation, which is just the original game, maybe in HD, and then the enhanced version with the actual improved graphics and more. We don't know what the and more means. Maybe Cloud is updated to not be shit.
Cloud?
Yeah, Cloud's in it. The original Final Fantasy Tactics, you could recruit Cloud, and if you didn't have him as soldier, he was a bit shit. If you did have him as soldier, he needed the Materia Blade to use any of his skills, and it was weak. So basically, he was just there for fan service.
Gotcha. The reason why I'm excited for this game, as my question may have revealed, I've never played the original Final Fantasy Tactics. My Final Fantasy Tactics was the Ivalice game on the DS.
Yes, so the Game Boy Advance and DS ones are kind of like a Gaiden universe, where it's the It's kind of a storybook universe, as you've seen.
Oh yeah, no, it's a ton of fun, and in the game I played, you could recruit Varn and Penello, which nobody wants to do, but you can do it.
Yep. You need them to get Alcid, though, don't you?
No. I think you're thinking of a different game, because there's two tactics games. There's the one that's straight up following the FF12 crew, and the other one is just a bunch of OCs.
No, there's the FF12 one is Revenant Wings.
Okay. I never saw Alcid in the game I played.
Okay.
And also, there's already a Cid in that game, so it would be a bit weird.
Yeah, Cid and Alcid.
I'm not saying you're wrong, I'm saying I don't remember recruiting them.
Yeah, fair enough. But yes, that would be pretty cool to have it again. I bought it for the first time when it came on the PSP, because that was the first time it was available in Britain.
That might also go to tell great lengths as to explain why I've never touched it then.
Yeah, because even though it was like one of the best Final Fantasies on the PS1, which, there was some very tough competition there, it wasn't released in Britain.
I do remember there is that meme of the whiteboard where it's like, what's 3 + 7? And the guy turns to the crowd and his friend's holding up a sign saying the best Final Fantasy, and then he just writes in tactics.
Yeah. Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. This is, it appears to be more of a 2D-ish version of what Ninja Gaiden used to be, so I don't know if it's going to be that great, but I like Ninja Gaiden as a general thing because I'm a Dead or Alive simp.
Yeah. That's so weird, but I get what you mean as the annoying thing.
Yeah. Like, some people like Mortal Kombat, some people like Tekken. I like Dead or Alive.
Yeah, you don't like fighting games. That's fine.
Yeah, I like boob games. Yeah. Mortal Kombat is getting a Legacy Collection.
Yes, I gave this a very quick look. It looks like they're doing Mortal Kombat 1 to 4. Including the bullshit upgrade games, which is, it's always weird when they do this because Street Fighter's a fuck for it, because they release here's the Street Fighter collection and you got 5 versions of Street Fighter 2.
Yeah. And then some, yeah. It's bad enough when they just do the game and then the upgraded version of the game, but Street Fighter 2 was egregious for it because they kept re-releasing Street Fighter 2 after Street Fighter 3 and Alpha were out, because people were like, nah, these new things, we dislike the new and interesting thing. We want to do the old thing, but better.
Yeah, it was very irritating. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I like classic Mortal Kombat. There's no good way of playing classic Mortal Kombat nowadays, so getting one of these collections is great. I hope they're not greedy with the price point.
Yes. Nioh is a Souls-like,
it's Neo.
Yeah, Neo, and a lot of people like this. The fact that it's getting a 3 means that it's good shit.
This was a bit of a stealth drop. This was, because no one was really expecting it.
Yeah. The demo is out now if you want to give it a go, and looks like it's coming out in 2026.
I played Nioh 1. I think it was a competent system. I just had enough difficulty with it that I didn't want to play 2.
Sure, fair enough.
But in the first game you hung out with Hanzo Hattori, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, fair enough. And the last thing that's a big deal is Marvel vs. Marvel.
Yes, everyone's calling it Marvel vs. Marvel. The actual name is Marvel Token. It's Marvel vs. Capcom, but without the Capcom.
Yep.
Which honestly,
many words.
It's a great idea though, because Capcom have been real bitches lately, so Sony, which pretty much has the license to do whatever the fuck they want with Marvel video game wise, just went to I think it's Arcade Systems, isn't it?
Yeah. Arc System Works.
Arc System Works. There you go.
Yeah, the ones who did Blaze
Z.
Blue. Yeah, and Dragon Ball FighterZ. Yeah.
Yeah, they are very good at making fighting games, and I feel as if the FGC, the fighting game community, is probably incredibly happy that these guys have got their hands on the Marvel franchise. It's going to be a 3 versus 3 system, so again, just straight up Marvel vs. Capcom, only strictly Marvel characters. I don't care much about fighting games outside of Mortal Kombat, but boy, have I got a boner for the idea of this game.
Yeah, it just looks so nice. Like, even just looking at the trailer, just like Ms. Marvel being competently portrayed as an alternative to Mr. Fantastic as a stretchy person.
Oh,
is
yes.
Pretty cool.
The problem with stretchy powers is you've got to be extra careful when it's a girl with those powers, because it's very easy for the internet as a whole to be weird and creepy. So you have to handle it with a bit more elegance, shall we say? And then you've got Mr. Fantastic, who turns into a teapot in the Lego games.
But yeah, Ms. Marvel generally just uses it for big, massive fists, which, is all fine and good.
Yeah, it's a pretty good use of that power, to be honest.
Yeah.